everybody. Today, can't see it. Talk about ellipses. And ellipses kind of carry on what we started with circles. So an ellipse, and I attached a video, hopefully you can check, is the set of all points where the sum of the distances from two foci is constant. So if you notice, here's an ellipse. These are our two foci. This distance plus this distance would equal any other two distance, another one. This one plus this one, plus that one. We're not going to get that in depth in it, but there you can see it. So let's look at the parts. Now, HK, just like with circles, is our center. So our centers is HK. Now, we're equal to 1, and under here we have A squared and B squared. And those could actually flip. A squared and B squared. A is bigger than B. And so that gives us two types of ellipses. A horizontal or a vertical, just meaning which way they're oriented. Okay? I almost said orientated. That's not a word. So this one, the way I listed it, would be a horizontal. If we switch those around, now under the Y is bigger, so it's vertical. It's a lot easier when we start to use them to have everything make sense. So let's look at this one right here. We're going to graph it and find the parts, and we'll talk about the name of the parts after. All right, so where's my center? My center is at 2, -1, because the opposite of that, the opposite of that. So when I go to graph, 2, -1. So we're right there. Now, what do the A squareds and B squareds do? Well, A and B tells us how far to go in those directions. So check this out. Under the X, I have 16. Square root of 16, 4, 4, 4, 4. So in the X direction, from my center, I'm going to go 4. So I go right 4 and left 4. Okay? In the Y direction, square root of 25 is 5. So I'm going to go up 5, and I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, down 5. And I can roughly draw my ellipse. I'm not good at drawing ellipses. Now, the longer side is the major axis, and the shorter side is the minor. So you can see the major axis, 5 this way, 5 this there, has a length of 10. Minor goes 4 and 4, has a length of 8. Now, the major axis, the major side, those are our vertices. So we have a vertex here and a vertex down here. Down here, the small side, co-vertices. So co-vertex, co-vertex. Okay, so we could label those if we want. So if I start at, I want to label my vertices. So I started at center of 2, -1, and I went up 5 and down 5. That gives me 2, 4, and 2, -6. My co-vertices, I started at 2, 1, and I went so up and down 5 here. And then I went left 4, so that's -2, -1, and right 4, 6, -1. And I could just count them. The part that's tricky to find are my foci. My foci are always along the major axis. So there's two foci here. So how do I do that? Well, I need this equation. A squared minus B squared equals C squared. Okay, bright and crooked again. So that gives me 25 minus 9, minus 16 equals C squared equals 9, right? But that's equal to C squared, so square root it. So C is 3. So along my major axis, from my center, I'm going to go up and down 3. So I have foci, in case you want to know how to spell that, foci. I go up and down 3 from there. So that gives me 2, 2, the ballerina point, and 2, -4. Okay? Really, I'm just counting everything. I'm almost out of spray. Let's try one more, and we'll go the other direction. So we had this was a vertical ellipse. I know I'm talking fast. YouTube only gives me a limited amount of time. All right, so remember, in order for this to be a horizontal ellipse, the other one was vertical, we need the larger number under the x's. So we'll go, say, x plus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 1 over, we'll use the same numbers this time, 25 under here, 16 under there. Okay? Makes it easier to keep going. So where's our center? Center is at -2, -1. And I like to graph as I go. Some people want to do this all at once. I think that's silly. -2, -1 is my center. And really, that's not part of my ellipse. Wow, that really is crooked. Well, I'll have to go with it. Now, A is 5. So in the x direction, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go 5 because x's go horizontally. So 5 this way, 5 that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably could do that a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, probably not a bad idea to write these down. This time, these are my vertices because it's the major axis because it's the larger side. So I went 5 that way, -7, -1. Notice the y doesn't change. And 5 that way, 3, -1. Co-vertices. Going to go up and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a rough sketch. I'm really bad at drawing ellipses. My wife keeps calling them ovals. Not an oval. Co-vertice. So from -2, 1, up and down 4. So that's -2, 3, and -2, 5. -5. Now, again, to find foci, a squared minus b squared equals c squared. So 25 minus 16. Again, it's the larger one's going to come first because I can't have equaling a negative. Okay, so c squared equals 9er, square root. C is 3. This time, my foci are on the major axis, so I'm going to go right and left 3. So my foci are at -5, -1, because I'm going left 3, and then right 3, 1, -1. All right, we might do some more of the ellipses next time, but here's a simple way to graph them and find the center, the vertices, the co-vertices, and the foci. All right, hope that was quick. Hit me up with any questions. Remember, stay safe.